has been bodying them so far in 2026, but FlyQuest has been leveling up, and I think we're seeing a lot of their growth on display in that game number 1 to show that they have what it takes to at least get a game. Like, it's still series, but at least they're able to take down C9.
And I'd say for Cloud9, their split is 5-0, but it's had a lot of bumps along the way. Week 1, they won all 3 games against Lion. Week 2, they won all 3 games against Cloud9. They did sweep Disguised and Shopify. Sentinels and Cloud9 in week 2. And then even in the most recent week, they won all 3 games against Dignitas, who, as we know, is 0-6. So it's touch and go for Cloud9. But they are yet to lose a match in the spring split, and it looks like they're going Ashe Seraphine as the direction with this first pick. Let's see if FlyQuest tries to disrupt this combo with something like Ashe Lulu, or if they're just totally fine giving over the combo.
It's very reminiscent of that game number 1, having that push. They have Ezreal Karma game 1, now it's going to be Ashe Seraphine game 2. Unless FlyQuest want to deny it, we don't see this happen a lot, but it is locked in.
No, I like it in this instance. So what I see most commonly when people disrupt this combo is they'll go Ashe Lulu, and then the other team will end up with something like Ezreal Seraphine, but Ezreal's already gone. So now they'd be pushed to something like MF Seraphine. I'm really curious to see what the backup is for C9.
Theoretically, you can do a similar thing. You can make it rain, get the slow, and then try and, like, combo with that with the Seraphine. But that's a long cooldown on the Misfortune E. As a Misfortune support player myself, I know how useless you feel when you don't have that available. But J4 paired with Ashe for FlyQuest.
And matched with Xin Zhao very quickly. And they've pivoted, actually, to the Senna. So we might be seeing Static Shiv, Senna, Seraphine. Insane healing for the Xin, who might also be going the Dusk and Dawn build with Titanic Hydra.
We saw that yesterday.
Yeah, although that really gives healing reduction and shield reduction value. It's just an extra reason to build it early. So already excited by this little shakeup early on in draft.
I'm wondering who would then pick it up for C9, because, I mean, J4 could get a Serpent's Fang. Not sure if that's like the, or rather not Serpent's Fang. I guess also for the shielding, you're probably going to want both of those.
Yeah, potentially Jarvan would try to sneak it into his build, and then Ashe would probably build the healing reduction.
Yeah. Unless they find some other, maybe like a Morello's builder or something like that later on. But we'll see what they end up going for here. Either way, the cores from each team is about bot lane and jungle for both sides. I am really liking what C9 have right now, because this Xin Zhao is going to be nigh unkillable.
Yeah, same as it ever was. Play for bot. Everybody run bot lane, fight over that first Scuttle Crab, and see what happens.
And that worked well for C9 in game 1.
It did.
They mind-controlled Gryffinn on Shen to go contest them at the Scuttle.
They did.
And we're able to get that early lead. Unfortunately, then it was kind of like Zven going for the aggressive play under the bot turret and throwing some of that lead. I don't think we have the same threat of that on Senna. You can't really go for the arcane shift under turret.
Correct.
On this pick.
Yeah. It is
good news for C9 fans.
Harder to shift to your demise.
Yes.
On Senna.
Not impossible, but harder.
Yeah, you can flash in, but that would be silly.
Ziggs ban, and then the Jace ban on the side of C9, plus Talia. So still focused on C9's mid lane champ pool here, as APA will have to go a little deeper into that.
Yeah, so C9 is the first pick team. FlyQuest is the blue side team, which means that FlyQuest is likely going to hold for top lane counter pick. We'll see, though, with what ends up getting locked in, if it's Quad or Gakgos is champion. With the Aurora, that's still technically flexible. That could be Gakgos or Quad, so they're trying to keep C9 as off balance as possible. Based on that look that Gakgos was doing, he's not playing Aurora, and he's trying to figure out what he's going to be playing later.
Buy me some time, Quad. Let's see what we got here. Trying to think of like the safe blind picks available still for C9 that would match their draft. I mean, I'm wondering if you just want to go Bruiser Bro, something like a Renekton here, because then like Xin Zhao, Renekton, they will both just be unkillable with the Seraphine and Senna, but it also gives even more credence to the, healing regen cut.
Yeah, I mean, the more Bruisers and Bash Brothers you can put in a line to go with Senna Seraphine, the better.
Yeah.
Could even have seen a Gnar angle, but they respect Gakgos' like weird counter picks to try and punish that, so Renekton's a little bit harder to punish. And then Viktor's just scaling here in the mid lane for APA.
Speaking of weird counter picks, though, Kled would be in that category. Viktor, though, for APA into the Aurora, because FlyQuest is hovering the top laner. I'm assuming we have enough evidence to confidently say that it's Aurora in the mid lane. What will be paired against Thanatos' Renekton?
They're laughing about it. They're laughing about the Sion pick. I did mention that he wins a lot on carries.
Yeah, what was the record on tanks?
So it's 1-4.
Ooh.
And he only has 1 loss on carries. I would classify Sion as a tank. He
Not
said the reason
yeah.
is he can't carry Massu when he's on tanks. Which if we look at last game, 5,000 gold ahead on Rumble. And Massu was 2,000 gold down before team fights.
Oh no, it's all coming together.
I'm Team Gakgos currently.
Okay.
So we'll
are you
see.
Team FlyQuest draft with that then in mind?
Dude, this is hard. I really love Senna Seraphine. If it was Senna Seraphine and it was C9 with the... I love the Sion in the draft, actually, because of the way it can absorb the Xin and the Renekton, but I do worry about FlyQuest's ability to actually kill things.
Yeah.
Just because the Senna Seraphine heals and shields can be so massive cutting through the Renekton Xin.
And when I think of Aurora, I don't think about the same, like, Cassiopeia sustained damage. I think more of that flanking burst style.
Exactly. But the rest of the team is a little bit more about sustained team fighting. So maybe there'll be enough burst with Jarvan and Aurora from Gryffinn Quad.
Sure.
But the longer fights, if the Senna Seraphine don't get one shot, and the Xin will just be repetitively healing, would favor C9.
Low mobility for Zven on the Senna. Let's see if he can absorb the dives, as that is a fantastic view of the little critter there on Summoner's Rift. C9 versus FlyQuest. C9 with their backs against the wall. They would like to continue their undefeated streak here as they're going into a Team Liquid match next week. But FlyQuest, again, if they win this series here, they lock in top 4. This would be big for them.
It really would be. Sentinels potentially on the heels of FlyQuest. Sentinels can get to 3 match wins. FlyQuest, if they stay at 3 match wins, would lose the head-to-head to Sentinels, and Sentinels would actually move into top 4. So that's why FlyQuest needs to be on 4 wins. Deep Vision already placed by Thanatos, which will catch Griffin's start in the jungle.
Nice quad and APA go for a couple of trades early on in the mid lane. Exact same start from the junglers as the last time around, at least when the visions dropped down. It's just Blaber now alternating towards clearing top, or rather bot to top, to back up Thanatos there. So we'll see if the J4 wants to do anything early on. Anytime I see a J4 and a Xin Zhao, I immediately start to think you can get creative with your pathing, especially when it's a player like Gryffinn. Could look to impact a lane early.
It's possibly also why there's so many wards burned level 1.
Yeah.
Right? Look at the jungles right there. That's 3 of C9's wards were just used to scout the Jarvan. They currently have perfect vision of him on the blue buff. 2
FlyQuest wards as well.
Yeah.
Less information gains with those 2, but still they're investing in early vision. And we'll see if they're able to spot him by the time Blaber gets up towards the Raptors. At least they know that he's starting bot side, because by this point he would have been on the Raptors.
Yep. And on FlyQuest side with the Jarvan, they're able to hawkshot, but we got to talk about C9.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fan concerns about C9 in playoffs, but boom! They're still undefeated in the regular season. None of the problems actually matter until they lose.
That animation was incredible. That was half our budget actually right there. Just that one. As yeah, I think it shows the concern of C9 fans. We've been talking about it on the broadcast. We're not shy about it. That like they've been choking from regular season to playoffs, but this has also looked like, even though they're undefeated, one of the shakier regular seasons that they've had in recent memory. So,
but does that mean they're working on their issues before they're up for elimination? Could be. Could be.
I like that. Flip the script as the Hawkshot will spot out Blaber on the Krugs. Massu and Cryogen know that they're in a 2v2 isolated right now, so they actually walk forward. Heals used on both sides. DW will land, rooting up on Cryogen. And Massu and Cryogen just trying to get this wave in.
Yeah, I mean, I think in the straight-up 2v2, the Ashe Lulu is going to be stronger in the early trade. So Gryffinn, I think, very justified in going for the spot crab. I think they would win a 3v3. It's the scaling for me from Senna Seraphine. If they're able to stay alive in the lane, get souls, and keep their CS up.
Ghost burned by Massu there and didn't actually get a lot of value for it. Gryffinn spotted here. They're going to go for a dive potentially.
This is very bold.
Low health on Cryogen. Got chunked out to start things off. It's got to be Gryffinn. Last Embrace will land. Flash from Zven, but first blood to Massu.
Wow.
As Gryffinn will flash to safety. Vulcan continues the chase, but low mana on Seraphine. Can't imagine there'll be enough for a kill. FlyQuest get out.
These kids, man. These kids have no fear. They don't have all that scar tissue. If you don't remember that time we 3-man dove the Senna Seraphine and lost the whole game, they're not even thinking about that.
No.
They're just going for the kill, and they get it onto Zven, deny him a big wave. Crazy move right there to get the first blood onto Massu as well. That's really good for their lane.
Rare positive of TikTok brain. They don't have the memory
to remember the failed
To
dive.
remember the failed dives. You know, they're just focused on the future right now. What's that next reel going to be?
Blaber's always going to go for that bot crab
Yeah.
and then start looking. No matter what happened the last 7 games they played against Cloud9.
Just keep trying until it works.
Wow.
I don't own a dictionary. I don't know the definition of insanity. I actually don't own it. Do you own a dictionary, Jatt? Does anybody own dictionaries anymore? Is that a thing?
I don't think people
I feel
own
like you just
dictionaries
Google
anymore.
it now.
You Google it.
Yeah,
And
but that's
then-
not even gonna be a thing. I was thinking about that. Sorry, this is gonna be a weird tangent.
It's fine.
In the future, we're not even gonna say, "Oh, Google it." We're gonna say like, "Oh, AI it," or you know.
Yeah, I
right?
know,
It's
it's
weird. I don't like.
Plotted,
time.
GPT it. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, makes me uncomfortable. Cryogen and Massu have a wave in a decent spot right now if they can try and keep this frozen. Zven and Vulcan hitting it to try and get it into the wave, but Massu with that first gold, or first blood gold, picks up the Greaves and is now having a slight spike. No
Wave's in a
ghost, but
tough
they
spot.
continue the chase down. Flash support, last embrace will land. Root onto Massu, tried to flash over and still hit by the ability.
Yeah, I mean, really just trying to get into auto range there as looks like Gryffinn is just camped out to start Dragon on spawn. They hawk Blaber to see him up by Kruggies, so they're very quickly going towards Dragon Soul with this bot prio.
Yeah, 5 minutes. It's rare that we see a dragon taken this early, like directly
Literally on
spawn.
spawn.
Jungler already in the pit. And I think that FlyQuest, even though they didn't get the kill, they got so much pressure by pushing Zven back there that it enables them to go for this early play. Blaber will get the top crab on spawn. So he's where he needs to be.
Exactly.
That's Blaber's zone right
He's
there.
going to do the level 6 Blaber thing. This is actually super funny. I love the evolution. There was a match in Lock-In where Blaber was on Vi, and the whole meta of waiting until 5:30 to kill your last big camp so that you get your smite upgrade so you can contest the crab for level 6.
Yeah.
Basically, Gryffinn was waiting for that every single game, so Blaber queued over the back of the dragon pit and did a pre-5:30 dragon. I feel like kind of the same thing just happened in this game
On the other
with
side.
Gryffinn.
Ooh, Between Worlds popped. Quad's jumping away though as the Arcane Storm is answered. It's ult for ult and nobody going down, but Blaber's here, so Quad's got to be careful. Just hits the wave and backs off.
Yep, just trying to wave clear, but now level 6 Xin and mid-prio no TP. This is a very difficult to contest blue buff that Blaber is taking.
Yeah, and
Gryffinn.
Gryffinn
Whoa,
actually
whoa,
just takes
whoa.
the flag and drag in. Did not realize Blaber was there. Can walk away. Quad does not have TP to back him up. Gakgos is in lane, so Gryffinn might just look for the smite steal, but
Quad will be
grab
back
the kill
soon.
down. I mean, if Gryffinn can just get a range to smite it, no.
Yeah.
Okay, nice for
Yep.
Blaber there. He had the mid laner backing him up, and he's able to steal away a camp.
Yep, he does not want to give the dragon for free, so that's the extended cost of Gryffinn spending all that time to take the first Drake. One of the reasons you don't see junglers take Drake that early is it really takes a really long time.
Yeah.
And then the other jungler can use that tempo against you, but Gakgos is in a good spot in this lane against Thanatos. You can see really big health bar, hasn't lost many plates yet, so he's doing just fine.
Thanatos is up about a wave and a half in CS for himself as he gets that wave tripped in. Let's see how much of that Gakgos is able to catch under turret. As Massu and Cryogen again trading onto Zven and Vulcan here. Last embrace will land again, and nice follow-up damage from Vulcan. Cryogen has to use the summoner spell heal to stay alive.
Yeah, I mean, nearly just burst him down.
Yeah.
I was really shocked by that damage. Cryogen did know it was coming, otherwise he wouldn't have burned the heal.
Have you heard gold's good on Seraphine?
Gold's good?
Gold's good on Seraphine.
Okay,
yeah.
good.
Yeah. You get stats, you get AP. I mean, it's too early for that really right now,
Yeah.
but Busio said that, so.
Oh, I see now. The old friend of Massu.
True.
He's training his own Busio.
Yep. In the
Another Busio.
hyperbolic time chamber.
Yep.
Busio 2.0. It's like an update.
I think it would be pretty cool if we could see Massu versus Busio at MSI.
That would be
That would
pretty
be
cool.
fun.
Yeah. See if they're able to do it. As FlyQuest, I mean, they've been trying to put their name in that conversation this year, but they haven't really cracked into the top 4 definitively, in my mind. I feel like we're a top 3. Actually, we'll get back to that as Griffin's looking at APA right now. Flag and drag lands. The knockup's there as Quad is able to get in, but flash over the Cataclysm, and now it turns back on a Gryffinn. C9 answer the play in kind, and we'll get 2 for the effort. Flash from Quad, he actually will burn down APA over time, and across the veil, I spoke too soon. FlyQuest mid laner's getting out of there for now. Can he weave between the turrets? He's channeling the TP. He's not stunned, he's out of there! And Quad takes the TP to safety back to the mid lane.
Well played, I guess.
1 for 1.
These kids, they're crazy. I can't believe that's a 1 for 1. It looked so disastrous with the way that it started because Gryffinn here sees the angle onto APA, but then as APA times his flash really well to get out of the Cataclysm, and then the Senna Seraphine all coming in over the top just executing. You think this is a waste, not to mention Gakgos hits nothing with his Sion ultimate, so they've invested so much, and it looks like 2 of them are gonna die, but that last tick of damage finishing off APA and then quad TPing to safety. Still a bad play overall from FlyQuest because they lost top lane tempo, they lose the 1 for 1, they lose mid lane TP, but it definitely wasn't disastrous.
They did get 4 flashes.
That's good.
Blaber, APA, Zven, Vulcan, no flash on them, Dragon up in a minute. So FlyQuest could transition this into a second Dragon's take, as they're also just winning the 2v2 yet again. So Blaber will get the Void Grubs, and we see Gryffinn heading down towards the Dragon objective, which will be up again in 45 seconds. So I feel like that could be argued as the win. Thanatos didn't get that much done in the top lane while they were gone, so.
Yeah, and maybe a renewed rivalry for FlyQuest C9. That last year, FlyQuest had the upper hand, but they completely rebuilt their roster, and Lock-in Cloud9 dominated them in back-to-back series. Now we'll see with Gryffinn.
Going for another dive, it's just that easy. Massu with the kill credit, now on to Zven, Cryogen taken up, then Massu and a double kill to FlyQuest AD carry. On fire right now in the bot lane.
They might have heard me asking Vulcan about his KDA before the games.
Yeah.
Vulcan, by the way, has the highest KDA of all players in Tier 1 going into this series.
Yep. I think that might have changed.
Updated afterwards. I don't remember how many times he died in Game 1.
I believe 2 if memory serves, but I'm not confident.
That's going to hurt your 11 KDA.
It is.
So as long as they keep diving him and Massu keeps getting more and more fed, he's going to be a problem.
Dragon started up by C9 because FlyQuest went for the dive. They actually were not there for the spawn of Dragon this time around. C9 instead early on, and they're sending Thanatos down as well.
So there's a big ultimate advantage for C9. This would be a very risky fight for FlyQuest to take.
AP and Thanatos are
right over the wall. Plus they don't even have Sion.
Arcane Storm goes down, the Encore, and Cryogen's able to get out of that one as Quad tries to answer some damage, but with Thanatos being there, FlyQuest say, back off, we are not going to take that fight, and Thanatos will just TP straight into the top lane.
I like it, actually. I think that was well played by both teams. C9, I think, was hoping that FlyQuest was just going to send it in, because FlyQuest has a habit of taking kind of bad fights because they trust their mechanics so much. But I think that's the correct way to play it, is make the other team think you're going to contest so that the 5 people are there as long as possible, since they're down ultimates anyway. And look what they got, right? They got Viktor ultimate, they got Seraphine ultimate, they got the TP out of Thanatos, and now they can repeat this play on bot lane.
Cataclysm onto Zven, no flash on the Senna! And another kill. That's 3 deaths for Zven. 12 minutes into the game, FlyQuest have been hyper-focused on shutting down this bot lane.
They are in full attack mode.
Yep.
Still no static shiv early on for this Senna, and we said when Senna Seraphine get their items, they're good. FlyQuest is making sure they don't get the items.
Also all alone in the mid lane, though. Thanatos is walking up. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow will land a stun, but I imagine we all know where that's going. Shut down for APA, flash from Thanatos. Summoner spell has to be used to get out of there, but FlyQuest lose their carry in response.
Yep.
That's a shutdown, too, for APA.
That's a really nice play there by C9 to get the gold onto the Viktor. They're going to need him to do damage in these team fights because the Senna Seraphine can give a lot of healing and shielding. Somebody has to do the damage. Also looks like Blaber's going the standard Xin build. They have enough healing, they think, with Senna Seraphine. I know, boo. The Dusk and Dawn Titanic Hydra is just cool because it's new to talk about.
Yeah, it's fun.
But a slightly faster power spike with the Sundered Sky here for his MasterCard power spike item completion.
All right, let's see what he's able to get done with that. The trade-off is that this is stronger on its own. Just has the 1 item spike, so it truly is a power spike as opposed to the Titanic plus Dusk and Dawn. You kind of need
Gotta
that
wait a little bit.
Invest, boo.
Be way cooler
Have a
later.
savings account. Ugh.
Lame. Either way, 1 Drake to 1. FlyQuest is in a decent position. I still think once Static Shiv comes through for the Senna, Zven will be okay, but my goodness, 30 souls at 13 minutes is very low.
That is incredibly low. And I know, again, like if you're CSing, they're not going to be dropping nearly as much, but that's tough.
Feels very low.
All right, well, let's see what the next play is right now. I also just want to plant the seed for this. I don't think it's going to happen, but we are on track for Gakgos to get the triple donut. So just keep your eyes on that. Gryffinn going for the catapult now onto Blaber, flying a direct towards AP, but a nice sidestep from the Viktor. Griffin's got to flash back to safety, and C9 absorb the play, throw down the Arcane Storm, push FlyQuest back.
You stunned me with the triple donut. I know exactly what you're referring to, as Gakgos is dangerously low. Thanatos might think about doing something.
I mean, he's got the dominance popped. Gakgos low on health, throws out the decimating smash, and that will buy enough time.
So the triple donut, it's eSports Garage video.
Yes.
They analyzed all the games where someone was 0-0-0.
On a win.
In a win.
In a win.
Yeah. But like,
it happened in LPL like recently.
You can't just say at 13 minutes you're on track for the triple donut. Like,
well, when can you say it then?
It's got to be way later in the game.
Yeah?
Like, it's very common to be 0-0-0. You put a pin in it, but you could do that literally every game.
Yeah.
Like, we're only 14 minutes in. You're way too early on the seed.
Hey, some seeds don't plant or don't grow. You know?
Like January 1st, and you're out there in the garden moving the snow away and putting the seed in there.
Getting ready for pumpkin season in October. You gotta get, again, it's a savings account, Jatt. We just had this whole analogy there too.
Yeah. I know what it's just never going to happen.
On a Sion too, that would be very rare.
It would be.
Yeah. All right, well, shout out eSports Garage.
If it happens now, I'm going to have so much egg on my face, but...
That's why you plant the seed, Jatt, just to see.
just to see if it's going to die.
Because then you look really smart if it happens. If not, you're like, well, that
You're going to just start doing this every game, though. It's be like 12 minutes in. Oh, just saying.
You could do it at minute 1.
Ashe is on pace for a triple donut. Lane's been pretty slow.
In 99% of games, nothing happens in the first 2 minutes. We could just say a bunch of hypotheticals.
So how much earlier are you going to go with this? I think I'm trying to get ahead of the problem.
All right, well, Gakgos locked in Sion on track for a triple donut in draft.
He is.
Yet to pick up a KP. The Herald started by FlyQuest as they have control of the mid lane. Beat drop lands, root onto Cryogen, but no follow-up right there, so it looks like FlyQuest will be able to get this one, but as I say it, C9 are approaching. Blaber's over the wall, APA in a 1-1 against Quad as Blaber jumps onto Gryffinn to block him from entry. Now turn on to Massu, he's out of there! APA with a double kill, and looking for the triple! Flashes to find it, C9 contests the Herald.
Beautiful angle there by C9, and that's exactly how you draw it up if you're playing Xin Seraphine. You just shoot straight through the Xin. He's a vessel for the ultimate. Everybody gets locked up, and not only do they get the fight, they get the Herald. They're breaking mid. Zven has his driver's license.
Yep.
Unlike Blaber, and they're trying to get the Drake off of this.
Didn't have to do him like that, but the Drake is the cherry on top here. C9 just got a massive gold inflection, plus multiple objectives with 2 turrets going down, and now this Drake. And APA getting that triple kill. He's now 2,000 gold ahead of Quad individually. And that's basically C9's lead overall right now. Huge sequence from C9. They might even look for more here. Gakgos going to be in a 1v1 against Thanatos. Now he should be fine.
Yeah, he'll be completely fine. He's going to have good pressure in this lane. Now, okay, watching this one more time. It's really about catching Massu down in the river here.
No
Everyone gets distracted by APA, but then Vulcan redirecting his R, and then Blaber connecting it after it hits Massu. I gave too much credit to Blaber initially. That was kind of all Vulcan.
Yeah.
With the Seraphine flash R.
Good shit, good shit.
Nice, guys.
Jake, we just crossed him.
That too.
Love hearing that too. It's not just the moment itself, it's what happens after the moment. But, okay, Blaber did hit the Crescent Guard to knock Massu back.
True.
And deny him from being able to walk further up.
Okay.
Yeah,
Teamwork.
yeah.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Give it to him. I'll give it on a technicality. Gakgos still on track for the triple donut, just catching up on that one.
Man, the gold is slingshotted. FlyQuest was 2,000 gold up.
Yeah.
4 minutes ago. Now they're 2,000 gold down.
Yeah, I wonder what the gold graph actually looks like. If it was all from that play, because it kind of felt like it was just that moment. Every other moment where we were scrapping, it was like a 1-for-1, or like nobody really died, other than FlyQuest finding these dives under the bottom lane, as now Cryogen in his own jungle. Blaber will catch him out there and get the wild growth. Cryogen's back to safety.
Yeah, and Blaber right now on the Black Cleaver power spike. Extremely powerful. Static shift completed for the Senna, so even though Zven had a really rough time in lane against the Jarvan, Ashe, and Lulu, who's basically getting 3-man build the whole time, I think he's going to be okay.
FlyQuest looks to contest the red buff.
Low.
The arrow will land here on the Blaber, and the pincers close in on C9's jungler. Shut down for Gryffinn as the teleport comes in from Thanatos. He's committed to play, flash over the wall onto Massu. Looking for the solo kill. He's slowed down, knocked up. FlyQuest back up their carry and will shut down C9's top laner. Gold goes over to Quad, but they want more. Flash in from Gryffinn. The triple knockup. FlyQuest smash the team fight. Giving a triple kill. Just the double, but a shutdown over to Gryffinn. What a play. What an ace.
That's a 5-for-0 ace at 19 minutes from a 3,000 gold deficit. That's insane.
What are we fighting for? There's no dragon. There's no Baron up right now. These teams are just scrapping a scrap right now. I love to see it. And FlyQuest love the gold injection.
They just flipped the whole game on a red buff.
Look, Ashe ulti. Look, combo.
It's gonna be fight.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fight.
This is Xin.
Yeah, see, Xin. We can one shot.
TP.
Look out TP. I will mark Viktor.
Yeah, Victor can't play.
he
He's
can't
over
play.
the wall.
Can you help me here?
Yeah, help. Kill him, no flash.
Kill him.
Can't play, yeah?
No E4 too.
I can go more. Yeah, watch.
We don't need to.
I'm hog shotting.
Don't need to.
Yeah,
I mean, Victor, no flash.
Watch.
Okay.
Help him. Victor, no flash.
I poly.
Nice go, Gryffinn.
Push every lane.
Dude, I love the re-engage from Gryffinn there.
That was incredible.
Saying
And
I
the
can go for
comms,
more.
too.
Then there's like, we don't have to.
Yeah?
No.
Follow up.
He lands it on 3 and then lands a 3-man EQ afterwards. That's an insane Jarvan play at the end.
Very high value right there. And now Gryffinn, the biggest gold lead on his team individually,
Sheesh.
stepping up huge. Jatt, we came into this series and we had that whole, little graphics package prepared of what happened last time. But this time around, it's FlyQuest making another play in the mid lane. And Zven's out of there. Quad on a killing spree. Zven cannot play League of Legends today.
That's brutal, man.
He's not allowed.
The clean, essentially a one-shot right there. Burns his cleanse, dies anyway, and they might be thinking about Baron. They want to play fast.
I mean, why not? There's no AD carry on the other side. You can at least try and get, ultimates used from the side of C9. As I say that, there's no Arcane Storm either, so one of the biggest damage-dealing teamfight ultimates in C9's arsenal is not available.
We know they're willing to flip it, too. They can do anything at any moment. They're going for Renekton.
Instead, they're going up for the top side, Thanatos. The focus for FlyQuest. C9 were sticking around the Baron just to see if they would start it, and they lose their top laner.
Big gold injection. Drake up in 24 seconds. Renekton won't be there. That's why FlyQuest is resetting. It's a Hex Tech map, so they can fly out there and likely even up these Drakes. Gakgos once out.
He's going for the TP.
Ooh.
Nice. Gets it before the last embrace. Root follows up. The first hit does not CC you.
Also, Kangas not even close to the triple donut. He has 6 assists. It's 21 minutes in.
Ah.
You were way too early. But C9 actually just starting Baron to draw FlyQuest up from the Drake. Spotted out there.
Yeah, they have the hawk shot. Ashe is able to just kind of cheat that vision and see it. Blaber sticking around. Quad's going to walk up to check again. It would take a long time for Blaber to take that alone. So yeah, okay, FlyQuest pushed them off, and we see Gryffinn is still on the Drake, looking for the second one for FlyQuest. His Quad now goes across the Veil, but does not hit the damage onto Blaber, who is able to secure the Crabber.
Really nicely done here by FlyQuest. I'm loving their growth as a team. They had a slight deficit here, came back.
Arrow lands onto Blaber. He takes the audacious charge forward as they channel the ultimates on a Massu. Encore lands, but the polymorph on Blaber. Can he get the kill? He does. C9 take down FlyQuest AD carry. Who to do it but Blaber? As that's a trade up for C9, losing their jungler, but they'll take 2 for the trade.
A little bit of a caster curse right there as Massu dies to the Xin Seraphine. It reaches, trying to get more damage down onto mid lane now.
Don't quite have enough to kill Gakgos, but they have so much
CC.
CC. He will use the unstoppable ultimate and get out of there, but okay, C9, they're not done with this game yet, Jatt.
Their team comp is still really strong, Kangas. Even though they've killed Zven 5 times, it might not be enough. So let's watch this again. FlyQuest stays aggressive, right? But it's a fast re-engage by Blaber, because technically this is a 4v5, but Seraphine plus Xin is just enough to finish off Massu, and then since everyone on FlyQuest was trying to peel Blaber, that means Gryffinn's also stuck in a 1v3, so such a massive team fight win for C9 there from a numbers disadvantage.
Yeah, what happened to Gakgos? under that bot turret is what happened to Gryffinn there as well. When you're jumping in onto the Senna, Seraphine, Viktor, they have enough CC tools to kite you back and make it so that if you ever flag and drag forward, you're kind of stuck in that spot from that point on. Back to live though. Game's not over. FlyQuest have lost their gold lead. It's within 1,000 now as Cryogen's getting chunked down, has to use the heal. When it comes lightning from Blaber, Audacious Charge is available as Cryogen has to flash from the Arcane Storm. APA uses the ultimate. Cryogen uses the summoner spells.
Saved his wild growth, but had to burn heal flash. Nice play there by
Whoa!
C9.
Gakgos is actually going forward. Doesn't have the team behind him quite yet. It's only Gryffinn. Has to flash back as 4 members of C9 are there, and they will happily take the kill onto Sion. As now Blaber goes for even more encores, dodged by multiple members. Thanatos flashes the wall, trying to get onto Massu, but Cryogen has regrouped with the wild growth. C9 will only get the kill onto the top laner. Nobody else.
And C9 can stay on the map as long as they want with the sustain that they have. Sure, Ashe has healing reduction, but that's only when you're in fights, so they've turned straight on this Baron. It's going to be very difficult for FlyQuest to stop this if they want to. They know what's happening with Hawkshot.
No flash on Massu, no ultimate on Cryogen. It's really hard for Ashe to play this fight out. It's going to come down to Quad and Gryffinn to be the main characters here. 5 members of C9 in the Baron pit. They're staying up. Quad jumps in with the ultimate. APA goes into stasis to try and keep his health bar up as the ultimate from Gryffinn. Flag and drags back out. APA's fine, and C9 will get the Baron. Well played. FlyQuest cannot deny the objective.
When you have the Senna Seraphine comp and you have any numbers advantage, just start hitting objectives because the objective no longer gets you low. So FlyQuest does end up getting the mid turret off that, but that contest is just not going to work almost ever. So we're right back into that even game state. This has been an awesome back and forth game.
I gotta ask, can we take a look at the gold graph? It's gonna be like a roller coaster, up and down, because FlyQuest had the early game. C9 wrestle it back, FlyQuest wrestle it back, and here it is, like peaks and valleys for both sides.
Peak almost 3,000 for FlyQuest, peak almost 2,500 for C9, current 400 gold. Just the best. Although I think the scaling is opposite of what it was last series, I do feel like this Senna Seraphine is hitting this point now in the mid game where they're really difficult to deal with.
Yeah, they have reached what you can kind of call critical mass. Not even yet, like 3 items, 4 items, it just keeps getting worse. But they're at that point now where as long as they're not the ones hit first, you're never really going to kill anybody in front of them. The Xin Zhao, the Renekton, they are not going to land on anybody there. C9 will get another turret, and their composition really hard for FlyQuest to shut down at this point.
I think if Massu gets to IE, maybe he'll start having enough damage, but just the threat that the Renekton Xin and even the Viktor has on Massu's Ashe might end up being just a little bit too much. And you also see a Serpent's Fang coming through from Zven even to cut down the shields that Massu's going to be able to get from Cryogen.
Okay, moment to catch our breath here. 40 seconds for this next Dragon. FlyQuest could give it up if they want to. It's not like it's Dragon Soul for C9.
Let's look at some other stats so far. So it's been a back and forth game. APA has been pumping damage on the Viktor.
Gakgos number 2.
Gakgos number 2 on the Sion. That's just pretty surprising. Check out the gold as well. See how they've been doing. APA topping the charts, and Gryffinn with all those bounties he got from that red buff fight. Skip the Black Cleaver, by the way, for the Spirit Visage. Bit of a different Jarvan build, as you might see.
Set up here as Blaber jumps in onto Gakgos, takes a big chunk. Gakgos throws out the ultimate to get to safety as Quad goes between worlds, big damage, but now he's locked down! Shut down as well. Thanatos gets the kill. Gryffinn has to flash away. Follower from C9 not in range to get the damage needed. But one already down on FlyQuest. You gotta imagine that is an earned Dragon to C9.
And APA's the real carry, actually, when they're going for these engages. If they're not getting on top of APA, they're not having a good fight. It's just gonna be harder and harder to get on him because the Zonies is completed and there's so many supports.
3-item Viktor. Quite a hard thing to shut down at this point in time. It's gonna be Dragon plus the bottom turret, so C9 get a lot for that play. It's only 1 kill, but it feels like more because of what they're able to turn it into with that Baron buff as well. I mean, FlyQuest still haven't even cracked this top turret, so Gakgos gets some plates up there, but this was a big play for C9, now 2,000 in the lead.
Really was. They're looking to control the map from here. They've escaped the risky early laning phase, and I feel like they've put the game into a pretty good spot. It's a decent chance they're able to force a game 3 here after losing the first game to FlyQuest, but I'm really loving I'm really loving the rivalry we're seeing in today where we have the top 4 teams. And FlyQuest, they're making a good argument to be involved in this conversation. It's so much about the top 3, C9 line TL, what's happening. And then you got teams like Sentinels and FlyQuest that are really trying to enter into that conversation. FlyQuest putting up a fight.
I like how Raz put it, that just game 1 gave confidence that FlyQuest are a top 4 team. That's what you want to see out of a top 4 team.
Yeah.
And even this game, even though it's fallen out of FlyQuest control and C9 look like they're in a dominant position, it still is showing, you know, some really good League of Legends from the team that's in 4th place right now in the LCS and a young roster in FlyQuest. But C9, it's showing also how good they are. Zven shut down so heavily early game. Doesn't matter. He scales, he comes back.
Yes,
APA is holding it down, Thanatos is holding it down, and they get to this point where their composition still comes online despite how bad that early game went.
You do, and Gakgos, hate to bring it up, gotta say though, Gakgos on tanks.
Oh, not again.
1-4, Gakgos on carries, 8-1, maybe 1-5 on the Sion in 2026. And it's interesting because his laning phase was really good on tanks, but I always feel like, especially for younger players, just the team fight approach you have on a bruiser / carry versus a tank is fundamentally different. He's even had a few moments in this game on Sion where it's almost like he's in a position that would be good for a bruiser, but it's a bad position for a tank because on a bruiser you can just draw any attention you want. If you can kill the backline, you go for it. But on a tank, you need to be in a position where your own carries can hit. Yeah. And I just feel like that team fight sense, he hasn't quite developed yet.
And he's often used his ultimate on top of Onslaught to kind of get away. Like the Viktor Gravity Field, the Senna Last Embrace. These are things that aren't immediate CC, but they're buying space. And if he gets hit by that Senna W, if he's on top of that Viktor Gravity Field, I've seen multiple times he presses R the other direction because he's like, okay, we're not ready for that fight. And then he doesn't have that for the fight as well. So yeah, we'll see if FlyQuest is able to get their Sion into a position to create space, because they need to create space. That's what Sion is built for. Space creator, space maker. Right now, quad and 1 going against Thanatos. Not too bad damage right there, but not enough.
Doing all these random flips and stuff, and just does nothing.
Just the bunny's hopping around doing all this crazy stuff.
Thanatos has Merc Treads,
Alligator just walks away.
I guess your champion doesn't work anymore. Because he's got no pen currently. Sure, he's got the Deathfire Touch, but I mean, even just the natural MR from Renekton and Merc Treads puts him at 83 MR, which is 45% reduced magic damage. So you're just not doing damage as quad. He builds healing reduction instead of magic pen, which makes sense, but they just don't have the damage.
There it is again. I mean, we've seen it multiple times. Gakgos gets hit by the Last Embrace and just presses R away from the fight.
It's tough because their team doesn't win front to back.
Yeah.
So if you're on a carry, maybe you'd be able to flank. If you're on a tank, you're hoping to be able to team fight, but unless you're like really in a good position and you can really distract the enemy, you're not going to look that good on a Sion in this game state.
Yeah. Tough to play out this one from this position. It's a minute until that dragon, and if C9 want, they can kind of force the front to back. I'm going to put the pressure on quad to find a big flank. Like if you're able to get around the Xin Zhao, the Renekton, and try and get onto the Viktor, maybe that's a way in. But again, APA does have the Zonia, so as long as he's pressing his buttons, it's not going to be easy for FlyQuest. His quad will go in for that one. Almost finds the assassination onto Zven. Not quite enough damage, but that's a lot. He uses Blaber's actually going to go straight into the GA. Flash from Thanatos looking for Massu. Can't get onto him. The polymorph is there. The shutdown is there. Massu goes down. APA finds the kill. C9's mid laner steps up when they need him most. Can't get on the quad though, as FlyQuest still have multiple members up. Gakgos will be sacrificed. The team gets away. C9 get a 2-for-1 trade.
Whew, that was the chance for FlyQuest to come in for it. Massu had hit that Infinity Edge that we'd been talking about, and he was actually able to kill the Xin if the Xin gets close to him, but that was the GA fight for Blaber. The true carry, as we keep talking about APA, was there, and now this is 100% Hexol for C9. Which
maybe FlyQuest go for the Baron. I'm looking at the timers right now.
They can try.
C9, it had just spawned. We're going to look at the replay first.
Yeah, they won't have damage for it. So Quad does push Zven out of the fight, which means FlyQuest is very comfortable fighting. And Massu down on the bottom can get a lot of damage onto Blaber, so the fight looks pretty good. But then once they get flash from Massu, Massu wants to turn the fight around and kind of just walks into the Viktor, who annihilates him. And then with no Ashe, all the sustained damage from FlyQuest is gone. and that's Hextro for C9. FlyQuest just didn't have the damage to do Baron with Massu being dead.
Back to live, it looks like that is just pure advantage for C9, and look at that, APA holding it down for C9. More damage dealt by FlyQuest, but that's because they hit the beefy members. They hit Thanatos, they hit Blaber. C9 were able to kill Massu.
Time to go for picks. They know, FlyQuest knows they lose every single 5v5, so they're trying to get...
Flag and Drag used, the arrow lands, Thanatos stunned up for quite a long time, and this will be a successful pick for FlyQuest.
Yeah, nice look. They know there's a small chance of winning the game. They're going to lose a lot mid here. See if they can engage on a 4v5. They have Sion ultimate if they'd like to try, but it's just very difficult.
And not a lot of follow-up. They are going to go for the unstoppable one-shot. Gakgos charging in, C9 juke down towards the Raptors, but there's Quad finding the flank between worlds, but he's stunned up, he's taken down! As Blaber finds that kill, Crescent Guard during the polymorph to try and flash in onto Massu, but the wild growth is there. Blaber not even close to enough damage to kill Massu. As APA's in the stasis again, will go on a killing spree before he falls, but FlyQuest have found some ground in this game. Zven will fall as well. Last Embrace is not enough to save him. It's only Vulcan getting away. FlyQuest holding on.
They're going to keep it interesting. They're going to get Baron off of this as well. Massu, Gryffinn alive, and this is with Thanatos down. They know C9 is weak. The Sion pushes him down to the flanking quad, and that's what traps C9 in this fight. Then when Seraphine ultimate is down, that means Massu is safe to hit because Blaber can't jump on him with the guaranteed Seraphine stun. GA was burned in the last fight, and then crucially, they can actually get on to APA. Really liked, since we were criticizing him before, the tank play from Gakgos in this fight because he was constantly in a spot where Massu could hit while he was taking damage.
And I gotta, if we get a chance to chat with Blaber to think like, what was the reason for going back in there? Maybe thought that APA was closer. Like if Viktor has one laser, Massu probably dies. So like there's a line where you can kill him, but unfortunately it just looks kind of silly because you could have just kited back. FlyQuest now wearing purple. Get the gold lead back to their side.
Yeah.
The roller coaster continues.
They're against the Hexol, but they've killed Thanatos again. Thanatos is still dead. So they found yet another pick on a Thanatos. It could just be a comedy of chained picks. Now with Baron and a 5v4, FlyQuest wants to actually win on this push.
They have 5 members. C9 have 4 defending, 2 cannon minions. Baron empowered. Is this going to be enough for FlyQuest to close out the series? They just flash onto APA. Cataclysm used, but he's still healthy. He's still alive. And FlyQuest push a little too far forward that time. C9 keep their mid laner topped off, and now Massu in trouble. Tries to get away, will get out of there, but now APA continues the chase. This is huge for C9. They're TPing bot lane as well. C9 see the angle to end the game. The slow on Massu. He can't get out of there. C9 hold the line. FlyQuest stumble at the finish line.
They might end. Renekton's already on bot. APA can TP onto the Renekton, and it's just quad.
It's 30-second death timer on Gryffinn and Gakgos, 20 on Cryogen. I think this is the game end. It's going to be 2 members with TP, 3 members pushing mid. They can link up these waves. Can C9 get it done?
Just like we all expected, C9 is going to force a game 3. We'll see quad. There's no Baron. There's no Baron here for C9, so maybe quad can get the wave.
He goes between worlds trying to clear out the wave. He's able to get most of it, but he falls in the process. The ace for C9. The game for C9. The series continues 1-1 on the scoreboard.
I mean, a really entertaining end to the game. It might have looked int that FlyQuest went in for that fight at the end, but they were against a Hexol. It's really difficult to ever get another 4v5. FlyQuest made it to the fight, but Cloud9's pushing us to 3. Lounge, how are we going to pick a player of the game here?
It's kind of going to be tough, right? Because at points, that was just kind of a, comp diff, and it's very difficult to go into a Xin Zhao with, you know, Seraphine, Senna,